Hello Marvel Heroes fans, my name is Wilfred Wong and welcome to my channel where you see videos and guides on this free-to-play game called Marvel Heroes. Let's talk about Psylocke today. A lot of you has been requesting me to update my video on Psylocke. I'm happy to do it for you guys. And also, as per your request, I'm going to do a video on ranged build because I think quite a lot of you are asking for the range alternative build as well. I'll do that for you. Now, before I go into talking about Psylocke's build and gear and so on and so forth, just want to give a brief intro on Psylocke because she is my favorite, the favorite hero in this game. Many people ask me who's your favorite hero, in this game, Marvel Heroes, and the answer is always Psylocke because she is very dynamic to play, very fun, at least to me. Everything fit into one hotbar, very minimal cooldown, so you can get to observe what's on the screen out there, to observe the environment and do certain things without worrying too much about when do I do a cooldown. So that is, I think, is a very much a plus point, heavy plus point. Very dynamic gameplay, but for the single target though, it can be really complex in terms of the rotation, and that's why I'm hoping in this video I'm going to show you how to unleash the maximum potential from Psylocke. All right, so and that is the reason why I like Psylocke. It's easy to pick up. Anybody can pick her up and in game, and all the powers are quite easy to understand. But to master her is another story. So I'm here to help. I mean, those are the great things about Psylocke. And besides, of course, I enjoy the fact that she can do a pseudo kind of like teleport. She can like jump across platform pretty well. Move quite fast as well, very agile, very like you can articulate and see what's happening with Psylocke doing stuff, and that's really I like about the hero. But I mean, let's talk about the minuses as well. Just to I don't want to oversell a hero to you, and after that you come back and say, whoa, this is not what I think it is. So I'm going to be transparent to you. Psylocke is a little bit dated right now, a little bit, not as dated as some of the hero in the game, but the design wise, I mean, all the cooldowns are everywhere. The timing itself is not aligned like the newer hero. It make her really like I think it's overcomplicated when it comes to extracting most out from her. In terms of the unique design as well, it's very dated. I mean, if you compare her unit right now to some of the newer heroes, unique is very hard to get the max rank for all the relevant skill for Psylocke, and also her health is so low as a melee. You probably find her very fragile. Not to blame you, and as a dodge deflect hero with a low health, make her really fragile in terms of as a melee hero. So I understand why some of you are asking for the range build, but the range build is only having 80% potential of what the melee can do. So that's why I personally would rather eat the bullet and sort of like work hard towards how to survive in harder contents than to lose the 20% DPS. But that is just my thinking behind. And yeah, I mean that is the plus and minuses. So whether you like to pick up Psylocke or not, I hope you do. But do check out the rest of the video, and then I'm going to talk about the rotation, the gear, the build, and also a little bit of in-game clip to show you how she plays like. To play melee well, not only do you need to get your timing really right, also you have to keep something called psionic projection, up to 3. If you can get 2, it's already pretty good. 3 is a little bit stretching. It's quite hard in a single target kind of like rotation to maintain 3 psionic projection. But if you could, that's great. Now, what is psionic projection? It's actually when she does her shadow dash, she actually spawns something called psionic projection right now here. But you can't do it very fast. I mean, you can have up to 3, but there's a certain timing that you spawn out. So if you spawn too fast, then the 2 will sort of like disappear quite kind of like in a very close interval. So you try to space it out so that all the 3 will coexist in a certain time. So there one way to spawn it is through the shadow dash. Another way is through the psionic projection, where she will go stealth. Now when she goes stealth, there'll be one there, but then you can't keep going. I mean, you can't just keep clicking, and then you'll waste a lot of spirit while you try to spawn the 3rd one, right? So there's a certain timing to everything. So timing is everything. So you can't press it too fast, nor can you press it too slow. You have to press it in a certain frequency. So for those who have checked out my Cyclops video, you probably have noticed that I use something called a metronome to sort of like help me to get the timing right. It's a little bit unfortunate because I don't think any video game out there would require people to get such a acute sense of rhythm. But but for Psylocke, I'll show you why it is important to do that. So for those who have followed my Psylocke video, you probably know that I've downloaded an app called the Best Metronome, an Android environment. I can download that. And I'm sure Apple Store has the same thing as well. So just pick one that has no advertisement, so that you also will not use some of the phone information. That I think is important. Just public announcement there. I mean, pick one that does not utilize any of your phone book or SIM information. Pick one that just doesn't use anything, just to give you an app free. All right. So in this Best Metronome guide, if you're a musician, you probably won't go into tempo 20. 20 is one beat per 3 seconds. It's just too slow. No music plays like that. But this metronome allows you to customize, go the lowest one. So I'm at 20 right now. 20 is something like this. All right, so you can hear the ticking, I think, at the background. And so what I do is that if you click the projection every time the thing go, you'll be able to maintain. So 1, all right, 2, all right, 3. So, all right. So now, see, I can maintain 3. It's not easy. I mean, sort of like. So that is one that you could like, yeah. So I mean, there will be a gap whereby you won't have 3, all right. But if you, by and large, if you listen to this like metronome at the tempo 20, you would be able to maintain 3. All right, so that is the thing. If you go too fast, no use, waste of spirit. Go too slow, you won't have 3. All right, so this has, the goal of this so-called the psionic projection is to maintain the 3 psionic projection. Why is it important? Because ability like the Shadow Dash itself, ability like the Fallen Lotus Strike, as well as the Assassinate, will get multiplied if you are like, all these things will sort of like, because this decoy will mimic your power. It really, really buff your power by a lot. So each one of them will buff a certain. If you have 3, that's real bonus. But I found that in a single environment, it's very hard. Now, in a patrol environment, it's a little bit different though. I mean, in a dangerous environment, because you keep on moving, and when you move, you probably use Shadow Dash, and very likely will maintain quite a high number of the projection. And usually, when in a dangerous environment, I would use the projection before I use the Assassinate, so I have at least 1 or 2 decoy for me to get the big damage output. So, but like I say, I mean, don't really think too much when you're playing Danger Room or a Cosmic Patrol or Cosmic Terminal. However, if you're in a raid environment, you want to keep all this psionic projection, you probably need to have a metronome right next to you. Every 3 seconds, you pump it out, all right? Now, assuming that you have got your timing right for the psionic projection, the next one is about the rotation. Now, I'm going to decouple things a little bit so that it's probably easier for you to digest. Because the next part is going to be pretty complex, and I'll talk a little bit more later when I do a theory crafting, and I'll show you the steps later, how to replicate the same thing that I've done. So basically, this whole rotation is about 24 seconds, but in this 24 seconds, there are 8 steps that you need to do. Each 8 steps a different combination of 3 powers at least, all right? So, she has something called Psionic Vortex that give a vulnerability debuff. A lot of people would like to have that. I do that all the time for the implosion, mostly because, Psylocke doesn't really have a lot of like area damage, but what she can do is to group the mobs together, dump an assault there, and after that do a Falling Lotus strike, and then just hits from there. Usually in a raid environment, someone else will have applied this vulnerability debuff, which is something like this. She does something like this, right? But the thing is that I would not advise you to work this in your rotation right now. You probably want to master it and after take it forward and say if you really want to have that 10% in your rotation for your raid, because someone else somewhere will do the vulnerability debuff. You probably do not need to use it, and it's a very low DPS as well. So I personally would not consciously use it for my single target. If it's just a Cosmic Terminal. But in a raiding environment, I also wouldn't use it. But I use it a lot for danger room as well as for the other stuff like cosmic patrol. So let's skip that for a moment, if you could forgive me. The important thing is to time your DPS layer, right? So now the first thing you do is first thing that you probably need to think about is psionic assault. Psionic assault is that's a weakening as well, but the power is not fantastic, but it does give you an extra layer of 15,000 twice per second. It's not to be ignored. It lasts for 9.7 seconds. So so this thing will last for 9.7 seconds if you can sort of like time it that way. Then she has something called falling lotus strike that will last for 6 seconds. So this is a 6-second thingy. It's not 8, it's not 12, it's not 10, but it's 6. So this is 10 seconds, this is 6 seconds, and the assassinate is every 4 seconds. So this is the only one that has a cooldown counter to it. So you'll use it as a reference to do anything else that you need to do. And also every 3 seconds you need to apply the psionic projection. So as you can see, playing Psylocke well can be a nightmare, right? Because you have the 9.7 seconds, 6 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, right? So I simplify a little bit. I actually clip this to 8 seconds. So every 8 seconds, I reapply the assault so as to go along with the assassinate, because otherwise it's really, really hard to sort of like get things a little bit, to me, getting a little bit out of hand if I really want to maintain that as 9 seconds instead of like 8 seconds. So, I clip that 1 point something second. And also, would you like to just normalize everything to like, even the falling notice instead of 6 seconds? Can I do a 4 second to coincide with that? You could, but the problem is that because all this has an animation to it, and if you do a lot of animation, you lose out on your single spender. So you try not to clip your DPS layer too much, and unfortunately, you are at the right place. I'm here to have you covered, so I'm going to show you a rather easy way to get it sorted here. Okay, so I'm not going to do the main spender first because it kind of like confuse the whole thing. What I'm going to do is just 3 powers for you: the assault, falling lotus, and also the assassinate. So at the beginning of the cycle, of course, you apply all 3 of them, right? 1, 2, 3. So after you apply 3 of them, then what you do? You wait until the assassinate come off cooldown. You apply again, but that's 4 second lapse. The other 2 is still running, right? Don't want to clip that. So after that, on the second counter, and you reapply the falling lotus, right? So then after that then after that, when this one off cooldown again, then you may want to apply the assault and this one, because assault have to do it every twice of them, right? Then after that, when they off cooldown, you want to do a falling notice and assassinate, all right? So after that, what do? Then after that, you then do the assault, assassinate. Then after that, on the second counter, you do the falling notice, and after that, the last one is just assassinate, and then repeat the whole cycle again. Now, let me just run through the whole thing in kind of like demonstration to it. So all 3 of them is like this: 1, 2, 3. Okay. So after that, what do? I assassinate. Okay. On the second of it, falling notice. Okay. Then after that, assault, assassinate. After that, on the cooldown finish is falling notice, assassinate. Okay. Then after that is assault, assassinate. Okay. On the second one, go into falling notice. Then after that is just assassinate, wait for it, and then after that, all 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, and the cycle just start over again. All right. So I hope that gives you an idea of the steps, the 8 steps that require to get it right. And I'll write that down later on the number crunching part to show you how exactly it's going to work. So now that is still not the end yet. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix it with the projection as well as the signature. All right. So wish me luck. So let's put everything together. I'm going to run through our power, and at the same time, I'm going to use a metronome to help me to get the psionic projection correct. Every 3 seconds, I spawn them. But because I'm going to talk while I'm doing rotation, it may not be perfect, so I may maintain about 2 or sometimes 1. So but if you do it in your quiet room and time everything correct, you probably can maintain at least 2 projection, and that I think is good enough. So I'm going to move on the metronome right now. All right. Okay. Okay, so and so there's 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, signature, and then just keep hitting. All right. Okay, on the second, I need to do a falling notice. All right, then assault, and then after that, projection again. avoiding notice. Okay. Okay, assault and the execute. Okay, avoiding notice. And after that, assassinate. And after that, everything together. All right. So that's it. All right. So that's one complete cycle that you've just seen. And I mean, I haven't used any med kit right now, and if you actually use the med kit quite at the right moment, you'll be able to sustain the damage pretty well. So I mean, I hope that gives you an idea of how to sort of like get this like a rotation going. So every time you hear a click, you try to click onto the psionic projection, but also make sure that your rotation is right. So now that we have Danger Room, why not use it to demonstrate how Psylocke plays like in this kind of situation? And I picked one that is like not too taxing as well, because there's no point in having all those restrictions. You cannot see the real spirit cost double and so on and so forth. So I try to avoid those to demonstrate here. So I'm picking a purple one. Purple one is by no means easy to solo. It's usually I do with blue if I want to solo because it's a lot faster. But I want to show you how she plays like as well. So I thought maybe I do a purple here since I have that. So what do I need to do? I miss it while I'm talking, so I don't know what exactly do I need to do. So I'm just let me see. So I need to get to somewhere. So okay, so Psylocke is pretty mobile. This kind of map is nice. All right. So there's something going on. So I'm just getting to the okay. So I need to sort of like get this out. So what you see so far is basically what she plays like, and I can stealth on demand for a while, and I have all these clones that have been helping me as well. So what do I need to do? Okay, I think I need to focus a little bit here. I think I need to save some people, so I'll just go there and I'll just dispatch all these mobs, I guess. So what you see is the vortex and also assault and then fallen notice. Usually that's what I do. So I have 2 juggernaut. Right, okay, that is going to be a fun time for you guys. Wow, let me just get out. Alright, so that is the one that I'm trying to get rid of. Alright, I'm focusing here, try not to get in charge by 2 juggernauts, and this is by no means easy, I would say, because alright, trying to dispatch all of this as well, and it's a very tight kind of environment right now here. Even when I do assassinate, I have to assassinate the right kind of because one of them is actually having the kind of so if 2 of them is okay, so I'm trying to get it sorted here. Assassinate, and here we go. Falling notice. Assassinate. All right, so get out. There are 2 of them. Wow, this is super exciting. It's by no means easy here. A lot of concentration. 2 juggernauts, man. Some other boss I may be able to tank it. All right, so. Again, reapply. Alright. Wow, let me get out. So that was assassinate. So I think that gives you some idea how she plays like in a cosmic patrol environment, cosmic gate as well. It's a fair bit of kiting around, and you should be able to get it with patience. Also, good thing about Danger Room is that there's no time limit. You can take your time to just get it sorted. Just be careful not to get the death counter down to until you cannot get the bonus. So that is done. I'm going to save more people, and I mean Psylocke is nice. You can just like blink around with Psylocke. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Alright, so that's it. Okay, signature time. There's a lot of like AoE going on. I'm trying to get let me see, my Deadpool is dead because of the Juggernaut, I think. Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate. I mean, the team up is still not as intelligent as I wish they would. I mean, they should just jump around and avoid damage. That would be very ideal. But what am I talking about right now here? Focus on Psylocke. All right, so as you see, it's very fun. You get to just look around and focus on the, what's happening here, rather than just like keep looking at the screen and say cooldown. Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that because my cooldown is on, my power is on cooldown. And I mean, and also 4 seconds for cooldown power is really, really not bad at all. I mean, by the time you blink around and get to the right place, your cooldown is up for you to do more cooldown, the assassinate. So I'm getting there, all right. So saving people one at a time. So I have to destroy the remaining mobs. That would be good if I could find another boss somewhere to sort of like play, because you know, the boss fight is more exciting than anything else in this game. These are just trash. All right. So that was a God of Mischief that I have, and I took it out, by the way, when I was doing the rotation video, because it become very how should I say? It become, you see, assassinate one shot. It become very, you know, distracting. You know, I can't really see the psionic projection and stuff like that. All right, so that is done. Purple, and that is done. It is quite a nice affix as well. Not too. I mean, I wish most of these affixes are just as simple as that. Destroy 100 assets. So I don't know, man. Does this count as Hydra assets? I don't know. Maybe I just keep destroying things. And I mean, you know, Psylocke by means of her kind of like jumping, dashing, because you know, and she's quite easy to get all the henchmen count as well, because of the you know, her shadow dash has another kind of like, all this dash actually does damage. It's not really for show only. So I'm trying to see if I can find a boss. Whoa, 2 pyro, man. This is not going to be easy. And the wow, this is a whole test of this is wow. Yeah, I'm going to take my time here. If I take a bit long, I probably need to edit this video somehow. I don't know. And let me just pop the alright, man. Wow, this is like insane damage. It's really hurt, man. Wow. So I'm kiting around here. It's okay because I'm actually quite close to. Alright, so I'm waiting for Deadpool to do something. I'm getting very close right now to getting defeat. Alright. So, wow, all the SS is done. So I'm, come on, man, Deadpool, do your thing. Where's my Deadpool? Ah, man, I'm getting a bit impatient right now. Just want to get it sorted. So, guess what? It doesn't drop anything. Not even the pyro artifact. Not even the silver glock orbs. So I mean, you can see that she's actually very fragile. But I mean, you know, pyro is always quite hard. If you want to have no defeat, you probably want to take a little bit less kind of like a risk and the into it. All right. So and yeah, I'm going to just like continue. All right, just getting the rest of it done, sorted. All right, and so what do I need? 2 pyro is one of the really challenging stuff to have, huh? Splinter. Do they drop Splinter these days? Somehow I found that I don't really see a lot of Splinter these days. Oh man. Okay, assassinate. You see, I think I assassinate the right thing. So the targeting in this game is always a bit hard, challenging. I don't know how they're going to do the console. I mean the controller. When I can't even target the mobs, assassinate the right mob using mouse and keyboard. But anyway, that is a story for another day. Always a story for another day. Alright, so that is done. I still need to, I don't know, man, there's still quite a fair bit. So, okay, falling notice and the, alright, yeah. Done. Right, so that's it. That's done. And I mean, sometimes you know, although the hero may not be the strongest you have there, but I think as a fan, you probably just do the best you can with whatever that you have you know, given. So that's what I believe, and you know, so long as I'm a big fan of that character, I'm actually don't mind working really hard to make that happen. Okay, and the okay, man. Maybe I need to sort of like, oh, there's a unique there as well. Let me just pick up the unique and the dangerous scenario and another fragment. All right, just pick up money. I need my money. Repair bill. There's no repair in this game. Okay, so the last bit is really the wow, 2 Gordon. Right, I mean, if you don't mind, I'm going to use ultimate, you know, to sort of like the 2 Gordon is oh no, this Hood. Okay, Hood is not that bad. The problem with Gordon, I can't really see I don't even know what happened. Wow, I really didn't see anything happen. It's like, you know, just ran in and just died. I was stealth as well. So okay, fine. think it's the bullet. Alright, so anyway, let me just do my ultimate. Alright. So, alright, come on, man. Just now, yeah, what happened just now? I have no idea, really. Maybe I need to review the footage again to see why I had that one defeat. Wow, this is like, let me bring up my Deadpool as well. This is going to take a while. Now, what is killing me and how do I prevent that from happening? I do not know. So what I'm going to do, what I do best is what the ninja does. Just keep on moving and hope that, you know, who would not kind of like, yeah, so you realize that unless you have the invulnerability shield in, alright? Hey, man. I'm going to do all that I can right now with shield up and let's go. I think the bullet is really hard again. So that is the rather unfortunate. 2 times, 3 times. I think, I don't know. Is there a special power that Hood does that I don't see? Maybe there is. Alright, assassinate. Wow. One shot and you are close to like what chance do you have really on Hood? And the bullet with duplicated balls seems to fly everywhere. It's not like one of them. I can like, you know. Alright, so just a bit focus here. Okay. Alright, man. I think I should be able to get it sorted. I mean, it's good to have 0 defeat, but with the fact that I still have 2 life left, so I think I've won. I guess not the 100% pass mark, but I've won. All right, so that is another scenario for a danger room, and I've got my survival bonus here with Psylocke. So I think in conclusion, as you can see in the clips. She is, by all means, I mean, she's pretty fragile. I mean, she can die in seconds, even with the invulnerable shield. You know, you've seen it in Pyro just now, getting a bit nerve-wracking. You see it with the Hood right now also. And it's basically just, there's no chance to re-dodge anything or eat anything that, you know, have. But I'm going to address that a little bit later. And, you know, you probably see my gear later that I actually put quite a lot of effort in the whole defense stats. But, you know, it is what it is. A data hero that probably require quite a lot of, like, you know, help on the unique review, I think, at least. All right. Welcome back to the training room. Let's talk about the build itself. And for Psylocke, I recommend the main spender as the Killer Gourmet instead of the side strike. It's very similar in DPS, but the playstyle a little bit different. This one requires you to maintain in a place for a while to get the consecutive strike. But as you can see, when I played my Psylocke, I kind of moved for quite a fair bit. So Killer Gourmet suit my style better. And with the toggle here, Deadly Assassin is a toggle. It gives you crit damage rating, so it's good to max out, give you a spirit return as well. I'll totally max out this guy, and and I can toggle this one on, and then it becomes like a mental power instead of the physical power. All right. So as for the rest of the layer itself, like I mentioned to you, Vortex is something that is a very terrible in DPS, but the utility is pretty good. It has vulnerability, also become like an implosion as well, because for Psylocke it's good to group some mobs around. And then after that, I will recommend the Psionic Assault as the damage overtime layer. One point on the Psionic Resilience is fine because, you know, dodge and deflect is not going to save you, like, you know, if you're in danger room, the duplicated boss for the Hood that shoot bullet from everywhere, you can't really rely on the dodge and deflect to save you. You have to probably rely on the total damage reduction on those kind of scenarios. Signature max it out, and the one point on the you know, sort of like a crowd control breaker as well. So that is useful. Falling Lotus Strike is one of the most beautiful animation in this game, and I love it, and I recommend you to use it. I give you a bleed component as well. I do not use a tsunami. There's one, the typhoon. Yes, the katana typhoon is also very high DPS, but I don't seem to be able to work all this thing in. I mean, I suppose if you want to remove the Psionic Assault and use this one, you could, because this one gives you a better potential. in terms of DPS. So again, your play style, if you are doing single target, you probably want to do this one in 3-second cooldown thing. But I stick with what I have. I'm quite happy with that. And the rest of it, I mean, no, this one is no brainer. The telekinetic prowess is damage rating, and my playstyle is a lot of stealth, a lot of like a ninja kind of like a playstyle. So I do stealth quite a fair bit. So that's great. And the psionic projection, like I mentioned to you, when you create a decoy, the decoy actually does a lot of extra damage to you, and from the number itself, it actually come up to quite a fair bit when it comes to playing Psylocke. Yeah. Assassinate, one of my most favorite power of Psylocke. It requires a little bit of skill to target a mob, because in this game targeting is kind of hard. Unlike other ARPG out there, it's relatively easy to target things. Here you can very easy to miss it. You have a very mid session from height, from top to bottom. Mid session from left to right is where you should target any enemy here, not on the floor or on where he's down or where you think he is. It's not. It's just a mid session of everywhere. Think Santino. Interesting. So the stealth does more than just a couple of things. It does boost as well to your assassinate, because if you stealth within the 2 seconds, you get a boost to 100%. It's a lot. So I usually, if you notice, I usually do a psionic projection, but then I do assassinate, because in those scenarios where I don't have a metronome to count all those things, I'll just use it before the assassinate. I should have at least 2 decoys, and that should make me quite a happy man. Also, Team Command, like I mentioned before, stealth actually boosts it for 50%. So use it. Okay. So that is all. You have a chance to regenerate spirit and health. That is for the signature. As for the Omega system, the last time I did a video, I don't think I had the max one. So now I have max. So I hope that is kind of useful as well. So Warpath is +10 fighting. That is very nice to have. A bit of health regen and a bit of crit damage rating wouldn't harm. Nowadays I'm into, because Psylocke is so fragile. As a deflect dodge hero, you really need to work on the defense. So one recommendation is something like this that will help you. And I put on durability as well. That if you don't really do a lot of the kind of hard scenario, you could actually deploy this one to use it for better DPS return. Up to you. This one just the point dumper. I don't really do a lot on this tree these days. I analyze it. It's actually not really value for money or points. So 13 points on each one. And great thing about the toggle of entire rotation to be the mental is that you can research all the way down here for +10 energy. Also reduce the cost reduction as well. And you can pick up stuff along the way, give you extra mental damage a little bit, and a little bit more like base and so on and so forth. So I like that. A bit of health regen and health. Nowadays I like to stick with that, and 10 points spin tech, and that's all. In terms of hero synergy, it's pretty standard. The Cable for the crit, and the Doctor Strange for the mental damage, Ghost Rider for the mental crit, because I do pure mental. Then Mr. Fantastic for crit damage, Psylocke herself for the mental damage, Squirrel Girl for the boss against boss, War Machine for +1 fighting, Wolverine for brutal and more brutal. Range melee, Winter Soldier is great because for as my power, I do range, I do melee, and the split between range and melee, I have the numbers. With me, it's 72% on melee and 18% on range, so you have to take care of that as well. And by the way, area versus non-area is 35% to 65%, just in case you want to gear that way. And this is for the bleed. So yeah, that is all I would like to talk about on the build itself. As for gearing, my favorite topic here, I'm going to start with the obvious fact that when you gear a hero, you always look for the gap of the hero, meaning that you want to close certain gap. If the hero is low in crit, you pump up the crit. If low in health, pump up the health, and so on. Psylocke, unfortunately, is low in health, low in also the damage reduction. Now, I've already done a lot that I can, alright? Her damage reduction is only 36%. If you don't really do much, it's only about 30%. Now, 30% plus the 8% you prop as a melee hero is kind of pathetic, because as a melee hero, you need to pump it up to at least around 50. I'm comfortable with. As a range, you get 40 is fine. So newer hero like Blade, you can see him. Blade is wonderful. He's a newer hero, and his damage reduction is pretty high. So if you see damage reduction like in this kind of like a number, it kind of tell you that you have to work hard for your hero. Now, let me tell you how I work hard and the sacrifices I've made in order to make that happen. All right. So now, I mean, first of all, if you see you look at this kind of number, so before I work on it, my lowest stat is actually damage rating. My dodge is around, if you look at my deflect, is around 12%. The deflect dodge is about 5.6%. Now, as a dodge deflect hero, I mean, these stats, I mean, what happened to the rest of the 70% where you cannot dodge, cannot deflect? I mean, that's why you eat a lot of damage. That's why she's so fragile. To close the gap, I have no choice but to use the white suit jacket to give you a kind of quite a nice amount of defense. I mean, I could have rolled a better one, but I didn't quite bother because the rest of the set is pretty good. I'm happy with it. You need health, you need defense. Both you need for Psylocke. So white suit jacket is something I strongly recommend. It's not great for DPS. But it is what it is. You rather have a hero that can stand some punishment. Then after that, I'll say this advanced amulet of Agamotto is also not a great one for Psylocke. Psylocke can do a lot better with other better artifacts. But then again, there are two things that are very nice here. One is +1 to all power as a hero. As a data hero, her power is not that high. I mean, if you look at the PowerPoint with the gear, I mean, there are some 50 here, but the main spender is not really 50 yet, and still some of them not really 50 at all. So it is not really that exciting when it comes to Psylocke. It's still missing for quite a fair bit. So I would prefer to sort of like pump up her +1, and there's also defense rating as well. So I'm doing best I can to sort of like help her to get her defense rating up. I like danger. Cheap because you have a lot of flat damage, 60 times 5 times, stat of 5 times 300 already, plus another 364. That's close to 700. That's close to 700 already, 664. So I would say, and also again there's some mental defense as well. So these are something that I enjoy having. But then you also need to take care of your crit session as well. So you try to have something nice on the crit and the brutal as well. So if net what do I have? I have around mental crit is about just over 50%. Again, it's not fantastic. It's a data hero. I can't really do much because I'm doing so much more on the defense. I sacrifice on a lot of things like the crit itself. So I use Gungnir for grade 70. If you have grade 80, then use a Warlock because you like to toggle her damage everything to mental. As for, but if you are comfortable that she's not fragile to you, there are a lot of other artifact out there like the headband, like the Taskmaster for Loser Guide. Those are really nice artifact. I have another video on the what's the best one to use. Then as for the relics wise, I mean there are many choices. Either you heal your life on hit, which I don't think it really helped much on Psylocke. She took like spike. She doesn't take spike well, so you want to sort of like help her with the spike. Nothing you can do really on relics. So I propose crit damage rating because she does both melee and ranged. And then after that, the rune burst, either God of Mischief or the other one, the one is for the one that is for the Maggie that's mental. All right, so that is one. Ring wise, I use the this is a very nice roll. It's pretty decent as well. That is from the danger room reward. Just try to keep rolling until you get high health and high damage and also high crit as well. So all these crit will then add onto it. I mean the crit that you see 50% a bit low, but with all these proc added together, who knows, maybe a bit better. Then the I use all her unique. So I know a lot of you deviate from the other guide and say, oh, her unique is lousy, so you better use like the Nate whatever unique, any hero you need. To be honest, I mean you could do something like that out of the whole scope, but do bear in mind that you need the power rank. She's a data hero, her power rank is not that fantastic, so you grab what you can, and also more importantly to observe her health and so on, because if you don't use her X-Force gear, you actually lose out close to like 3.5k health. So whatever it is, make sure that you have something that is good enough to compensate. The +5 to psionic resilient again give you the dodge and deflect as well. So if you can deviate, or you can read other guide that help you say, okay, I don't need to use this gear, I don't need to use that gear. But because I always ask people, are you deviating too much? Because if your health is below 22k, I mean, really, I don't think it's a goal. She'll become really too fragile. You won't get to enjoy the hero at all. Now, like I mentioned to you, I used the life on hit before, but I realized that in Danger Room as well, I really need the invulnerable kind of thing. She's just fragile. What can I do? So yeah, I mean, I would say at least get a life on hit and the 25 on health and the 100 spirit. At least get a life on hit. If you can't get invulnerable, get a life on hit. All right, so that would be my recommendation. In terms of, like, you look at this one, right? I have the defense there for you to see. So if you take away all this defense gear, I have the whole number actually dropped quite a fair bit. So it's 36%. If I take this one away, take this away, and take this away, then it becomes like 30%. 30% plus the 8%, 38% as a melee hero is really a no-go, right? No-go, I would say. So you have to gear, but you sacrifice a lot of DPS. But that is how Psylocke rolls. And the last one is the plus all this. I have a generic pet for summoner and non-summoner. This is a non-summoner generic pet. Alright, so now with that said, this is the end of the video for the Psylocke. I really like playing her, although she has so many shortcomings, shortfall in some sense, but you just have to overcome it if you're really a fan. And as you see, it is possible. A little bit of struggle here and there. I actually recorded a better Danger Room early on, but with a lesser fixes, so it became a little bit too easy. So I thought, well, maybe I do a epic Danger Room, but at the end I still get the survival bonus. So defeated a couple of times, twice or whatnot, 3 times, but at least I get through it solo alone. So yeah, if you enjoy this sort of video and guides, do check out my link at the description of this video below that go back to my website. As you see, I have committed myself to update guides as per request, and also as per if I see any kind of like a hero getting a lot of drastic change. Psylocke has not been really changed much since my last guide, but I also committed to it because of all this like damage reduction change. I like to see how to overcome her shortfall in some way. At least I help you guys on that. Drop me any comments below, and I'm more than happy to help you out more and answer questions. And until the next time we see each other, goodbye, and Merry Christmas.